This is a training mission on the loft bombing technique. So in order to successfully loft one or more bombs, I've created a sort of a personal checklist that I'm sharing with you here. And I'll just talk about the steps needed to complete this procedure. You may copy this, take a photo of it if you need to. If it helps you, great. If not, you want to make your own, that's fine. But I found that it helps to have a checklist to refer to when you're doing this. So step one, obviously, is fence in. Go to air ground mode, and then go to your store's management system. Set the ripple to the desired amount. I only ripple one bomb at a time, and what I'm dropping in this scenario are cluster bombs, specifically the 87 cluster bomb. Then you go to control, and I set my desired loft angle from 40 down to 30 degrees, nose high. I set the bomb fuse for 2 seconds to arm the bomb, and the above ground level for the bomb to disperse its canisters at 1,800 feet. Some bombs do better at 1,500. I found 1,800 works pretty good to cover a wide area. Enable the targeting pod and make sure it's slewed on the desired steer point, which will be your target. Press ITP 7 for the mark point page. DCS sequence to select the TGP as the source for the mark point. And then once you're heading into the target, you have to TMS up twice to get the latitude, longitude, and altitude of the desired target on the mark point page. If you want to set that as your current steer point, you can press ICP 0 to set the mark point as the active steer point. Keep the target into TGP using altitude management to come in as low as possible. I have found that if you have terrain between you and the target, and the terrain blocks the target, that the TGP will drift off the target. So you have to work to keep that target to get as low as possible, but keep your target, if it's a vehicle or a building or a road intersection or a bridge, you have to keep your target in your TGP line of sight at all times. Once you get into target, you're going to get a countdown starting in the 40s, and you begin your 30-degree loft maneuver when the countdown number hits 32 degrees and you are in full afterburner, pulling the nose up. Follow the pop-up cues on the HUD and press the pickle button before the bomb release comes down on the flight path marker, and you will release one bomb. After the bomb release, fly your escape maneuver, dispense chaff and flares, whatever you need to, and reset for the next run-in. So with that, let's go ahead and jump on in. I had set this up as a 4-ship, so I'm going to set the other 3 aircraft home. And I'm going to come all the way with power to gain some airspeed, and I'm going to turn on my radar altimeter. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and fence in. Master arm is already on. Okay. 2's going home.
2.
3 and 4 are going home.
3. 4.
Okay, so I'm fenced in, so I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to go to air to ground. I'm going to go to stores management system. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ripple one bomb. Then I'm going to go to control. I'm going to reset from 45 to 30 degrees. I think I said 40 degrees in the initial brief, but I always use 30 degrees now. Okay, we'll go on to the next. And then I'm going to go back to control, and I'm going to set my fuse. for 2 seconds. And my burst altitude at 1,800 feet above ground. Okay, I'm tracking, I'm timing off the nose fuse, 2 seconds, 1,800 feet, release angle of 30 degrees, releasing 1 bomb. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to enable my TGP and put that in air to ground, and we're going to be in a descent here. We'll probably descend down to 15,000, and then when we make that turn, we'll go ahead and descend down to about 10,000. So we're inbound at steer point 4. Steer point 6 is where our targets are. Oh, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give consent to jam. And I'm going to push up the throttle about 105. I'm going to initiate my turn at about 2 miles from my steer point, so I'm counting down. I'm passing 5 right now. And we'll continue down to 10,000 feet. Okay, we're tracking inbound to steer point 5. I said our targets are at steer point 6. So the next turn will be running in hot onto our targets. Now this is sort of an artificial mission. The way I've set this up is I think I have like 4 supply truck battalions from the North Korean Army parked at the Kotar base. And I have 1 armored division to give a sort of an air-ground threat, although it's not really a credible threat. It doesn't have much standoff range, but just something to keep me honest so I don't fly over the bombing range carelessly. I have done that, and I did get hit and shot down. All right, so again, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for 2 miles, and then we're going to turn in. We're at 500 knots. We may accelerate somewhere between 500 and 550 for our run-in. And there's 2 miles. Okay, so we're gonna, and we'll just pick this guy, and we'll come around, and we're gonna dive. Okay, the radar has picked me up. I'm going to hold 550. Coming in the throttle. Okay, the arrow's coming down. I'm going to go ahead and level off. I'm counting down from 44. I'm looking for 32. Burner. Pull up. Pickle. Bomb release. Escape maneuver. 135 degrees of bank. Turning back to the north, coming out of burner. Getting back down into the terrain. To a heading of 355. And we'll go ahead and climb so we can reset for the next run-in, and boom, we hit something. Something's burning there. And right now on the outbound leg, I'm trimming the aircraft. So I've dumped one bomb, from this station that normally carries two. There's the other bomb. So I have to trim my left wing low. And we'll go out to 12 miles. We're going to turn back in here. And we're going to go back to our targeting pod. And we're going to go to our mark point and set the targeting pod. There we are. Gain some airspeed. Starting our countdown. We're level. Passing 40, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, burner. Bombs away.
Chaff, flare. Chaff, flare.
And we'll do one last one. Okay, we're 8 miles. We're going to go ahead and climb. Twelve miles, we'll turn in. Go back to our targeting pod. Now the next mark point we designate is going to be 27. So we'll wait till we come around here and we'll start resetting. Looks like we'll try for a couple of tanks here. Oop. That didn't work too well. Let me get back to where I think I need to be. There we are. Okay, going down. Increasing my throttle. Okay, and we'll level off. 37, 36, 35, 4, 3, burner. Pull up. Bombs away. Okay, well, we used mark point 29. Anyway, it took me a while to figure out why I was getting a lot of no releases on the bomb, and I hadn't been going to afterburner on the pull-up. So it is critical that you manage your airspeed in the pull-up process and not bleed a lot of it off by having your throttle like it's set here, about 98%, where you can get decent airspeed on the aircraft, but once you're pulling up, you have no extra thrust to accelerate. So you got to push, you're really pushing the bomb off the aircraft using that speed you get from going to afterburner. It does eat up fuel because you're at low altitude, so you have to manage your deliveries with fuel remaining, and that's about all there is to it. 30 degrees works like a champ for me. 45, I haven't mastered yet, but good luck with that, and I hope this helps you if you had any questions on loft bombing. Thanks.
2, 3,